Hello, everybody. My name is Kobe Warner. This is Koblizzy, episode 69 of Koblizzy, and I have a very special message from me to you before we get into the regularly scheduled programming. Exactly 2 years ago, on July 16th, 2022, I posted the very first episode of Koblizzy entitled Music. And in this episode, I broke down my Spotify playlist at the time. I don't use Spotify anymore. I don't make playlists like that anymore. But the reason I made the episode, what prompted me to start a podcast, is me and my mom had just went to the RuPaul's Drag Race Work the World tour. And we were in the front row, and I felt like Jada Essence Hall was like really like making eyes at me, like looking me in the face, and I really wanted to talk about the tour and the performance and Jada. And I needed a platform, so I made a podcast. I had a YouTube channel already. I knew how to upload to, the little thingy, the Spotify for podcaster. At the time, it was called Anchor, but I digress. I just wanted to talk, and so I did, and I haven't stopped. I've taken a couple breaks, but I've always come back to this podcast. It's a passion project for me, and so I just want to say thank you to anybody who's ever listened or watched in any capacity, to one episode or many. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is something that I do out of my love for talking, for yapping, for movies, for music, for celebrity, for pop culture, for iconery. I love to chat and I love to talk. And this gave me a really fun place to do it. This is something that I just do purely for fun, and I don't intend to stop anytime soon. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart for listening to Go Blizzy or watching Go Blizzy. And without further ado, this is episode 69. Has a lot of hullabaloo for 2 years, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Hello, my name is Kobe Warner. This is Go Blizzy, and I'm so happy to be back for another episode of the show. So, I've been filming episodes of Koblizzy for the past couple of days just because I've been going out of town a lot this summer, and usually I've just been missing the weeks that I've been out of town, and that is so unprofessional. I was thinking, like, what if people started watching the show and I was trying to get a sponsor and they see every time I go out of town I just don't post? So I was like, okay, let me get some episodes stockpiled because since I'm going to be busy the next couple of weeks and get them ready. And so I was coming up with ideas, and last week I did top 12 top 12, what did I do? Top 12 music videos. It's like I literally can't remember. I filmed that yesterday and it took me that long to remember. So last week I did top 12 music videos. This week I'm going to do my top 12 favorite albums of all time. I've done top 12 Beyonce performances, top 12 live performances of all time, top 12 Tiny Desk performances. Then I've done my top 12 music videos. And all of these have YouTube playlists, by the way. You can go look. And then I'm going to make this episode, which is the top 12 albums, and I can't make a YouTube playlist for that, but I could make a Spotify Apple Music playlist on both of like my favorite songs from these albums. If that's appealing, I'll do that, and all of these things are in my link tree. But yeah, this week I'm doing my top 12 favorite albums. By no means is this the greatest albums of all time list. These are just my favorites, and honestly I just made this list in a couple of minutes off the top of my head, and I have a bunch of honorable mentions, almost as many as I have albums that are my favorite. I just love music, and I burp a lot on this podcast, but I try to move the mic. Sorry, it's like, so excuse me, but I'm being real. That's the only, can I be honest? Can I be candid? I've talked before about how I was a Colleen Ballinger fan when I was a kid in middle school, and like Miranda. I didn't really like Miranda, honestly, but I loved Colleen. And her husband at the time, his name was Josh, and I really liked him too. And I went to their shows or whatever. Anyway, Colleen would burp in her videos all the time, and it formed this habit for me of like just burping, because she would just burp out loud. I'm like, oh, burp. Like, I never done that before I watched her, and ever since then, I burp a lot because I drink like LaCroix. I drink a lot of beverages. First of all, at any given moment, I have like 4 drinks. Right now, I only have 2. Well, actually, I have a LaCroix right there. It's out of frame, but I have a LaCroix over there. Anyway, I just drink a lot and I gulp a lot, and I think I just get a lot of extra air. So I think that's why I have so much burp to burp. But anyway, I just burp out loud because of Colleen, and I hate that it's like caught on tape. But I am who I am. I am who I am. That is just, it's kind of like Kobe. Fuck. I could have edited it out, and then I just made this whole soliloquy about it, so I guess I have to leave it in. In the future, I used to edit them out all the time, but now I've left it in the last episode, I think. Or maybe I didn't. I don't remember, to be honest. I really don't remember yesterday. I've just been so. Oh, it's a really good coffee creamer that I used today. I've just been so drained ever since I got home from Pride. I've just not recovered any energy, but I've had so much stuff to do, like work wise, every single day. Well, I was getting ready to perform the first 2 days, and then I performed the second day, and then I've just had so much work stuff to do ever since. And I all day Saturday, all day Sunday, like the weekend, disregard the weekend because I'm going out of town to DC for like a week in like 3, 4, 5 days from when I'm filming this, and when I'm posting this, I think I'm there actually. But anyway, I just am drained, and so why am I complaining? Just that I'm tired. Oh, that's why I can't remember things. I'm just like I can't remember what's going on because I've just really been trying to get through my to-do list in a way that I'm like honestly I don't even know if I'm really there. It's like kind of mindless. I've just been trying to get stuff done. So, my top 12 favorite albums of all time. Now, this list is pretty comprehensive despite me making it so fast. And like I said, the honorable mentions certainly flesh it out a lot. It's very comprehensive. Only one, two, three of these albums have come out within the past 2 calendar years. The rest of them are 2020 or older. Well, one of them came out in 2021. Everything else is older than that. And then the honorable mentions, I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get there. So this might be a long episode. It might be short. I don't really know. I'm going to talk about these albums, and each one, I'm probably going to have more to say about some than others. And I'm going to look at the track list for some. Some of them I don't even need the track list, to be honest. Actually, today I'll probably need the track list for everything because my brain is in hell. But the first album, these really are in no particular order. They're just numbered, honestly, so I could make sure I had 12. But I haven't ranked them. How many times am I going to say I'm tired? I didn't have the brain power. I didn't rank them, okay? Into it. Number 1, Dawn, Yebba. This album came out in 2021. And Yebba is somebody that I first discovered. I think I discovered her like every other singer did on YouTube with the My Mind video from So Far Studio Sound Performance Center stage. I think she was at the Sofar in New York City. There's a Sofar in Boston that a lot of my friends perform at. There's Sofars all over the place. But she was in New York City, I think. And by I think, I mean I know that for sure. You know when people say things and they say I think and they know it for a fact? It was New York City. And my mind was just, it just like blew my mind to watch her sing. And then to learn the story of why her performance was so passionate was heartbreaking. And the story being the passing of her mother. She lost her mother to suicide when she was in her early 20s. Yebba was in her early 20s. And I can't imagine. And so Yebba puts out a couple of singles over the years and does a couple of collabs with people, PJ Morton, Ed Sheeran, Sam Smith, all kinds of people. What's that guy's name that's on YouTube, the white dude that has like the most soulful voice ever? Not ever, obviously. I need love. Clark Beckham. She does a cover with Clark Beckham of something that's really good. So Yebba was around for a couple of years, but not putting out an album because she didn't want to be rushed and she took her time. And thank God she did, because in 2021, when I was in college and she put out Dawn, which is named after her mother, who she's lost. And my mom's name is Lisa Dawn, Lesadawn. Her middle name. I just love this album. And the music is perfect, but also the memories are nostalgic and the feelings are vibrant and pigmented and thick and full. And being a person is experiencing all of life. You know, it's not just happy, up moments. It's also down moments. And to experience the vastness of these emotions and these feelings through something like music might be tied to some sort of mental illness. But it is something that is so special to me, that I hold so close to my heart, because I really love music. And I really love Dawn by Yebba. And the tiny desk that she does for this album. All the songs that she performs on her tiny desk are from this album. And Stand, Distance, All I Ever Wanted Was You, and Paranoia Purple? No, that's not it. One More Smile? I don't remember what was the other one. How Many Years, bitch. It was How Many Years, I think. It was How Many Years. And yeah, but it's just a masterclass. I love this album. I can't wait until she puts out new music, but I'm not even rushing her. Like, I know she's not in a hurry. I know she's taking her time, and there's a reason that I'm so chill. Like, feeling like with that feel, I'm cool. I'm like, I know it's gonna be perfect when it gets here, you know. So Stand is a standout for me on this album, as well as Boomerang, especially the live version. All I Ever Wanted, stand out, especially the live version, and the live version of Stand, by the way, stand out. Far Away, incredible. The studio version's incredible. October Sky, incredible, especially the live version. The live video and the live recorded at Electric Lady EP. Louis Bag, stunning, as well as the Electric Lady EP version. One More Smile, that's a like, you know. I love the live version. Love the live version. Love Came Down, a bop, a banger. That's like the one song on there that like lets you like dance and move, you know, without like you feel, without you being rendered to just listening. Like, yeah, but she makes you want to sit and listen. Love Came Down's like a funner song. Distance is like, it feels so good. It's so musical. It's like a vibe, and it's so beautiful. Every arrangement she does of that song is perfect. And Paranoia Purple, I love it, especially the live version. And that's the whole album. Like, I just went through there. I skipped the interlude, but yeah. Dawn by Yeba is like really, really something special. If you don't know that album, if you're my friend and you're listening to this, you probably do. And because I probably put you on if you didn't listen to it by your own volition. And if you don't know it, I highly recommend Yeba. She has a Live at Electric Lady EP available on streaming that reworks some of these songs. She's best live. She reworks stuff incredibly. That live EP is really great. Her Tiny Desk is lovely. Evergreen has a live performance on YouTube. There's live performances of How Deep Is Your Love on YouTube, and My Mind that I mentioned from many, many years ago. Yeba is something. And it would be smart to become a fan of her now before she becomes like a sensation. And it's funny because she doesn't want to be. She said, as soon as music stops feeding my soul and like making music isn't for me, I'm going to stop doing it. And I'll move on to something else. I don't remember where she said that. I read, that's a paraphrased version. I read an article, or like maybe she did like a podcast interview. She's done very few interviews, and I listened to all of them when her album came out because I was just obsessed with her, and there was not very many. So I listened to what was available. There was like one or two, and then I read an article or two, and that was it, really. This Dawn never had any physical CDs or vinyls for purchase. It was only ever online. Like, I don't know why Yeba is cock blocking herself from stardom. She could be huge. She really could. She's incredible. The second album on this list is one of my favorite albums of all time, and it's one that every time I press play on this 10-track album, 9-track album, I think it's 10 tracks. Every time I press play on this album, I am transported. 9 tracks. I'm transported. I'm moved. I'm blown away. I'm taken somewhere else. And that place is the summer of 2018. Right after I turned 16 years old. I had just come out as gay, which I still am. I had just gone vegan, which I still am. I had just shaved my head, which it was a horrible choice. And I was losing it. I really was like struggling this summer mentally. And not just because I had just come out, but also because I was really stressed out about a certain boy at the time who I wasn't in contact with at the moment. Really. Like, not in the way I wanted to be. And I really was just sad. I didn't really know what to be. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gay now. And I told everybody. And I came out in a YouTube video. I think I mentioned this in the past couple of weeks. I came out in a YouTube video, and it was like such a big moment. And then it was kind of like the reeling afterwards. I didn't know what to do. And Everything Is Love came out on June 16th. I don't even have to look at the date. I know that for a fact, but I'll verify for you guys. Yeah, June 16th, 2018. And I turned 16 on the 12th. The album came out on the 16th. Beyonce had her babies like on the 13th. The year before, did she? No, they were on tour when this album came out. So she had her babies the year before on the 13th. So I turned 16. The day later, her babies turned 1. And 3 days after that, they put out an album. And they're on tour. And then I saw that tour a couple months later with Alicia and her mom and my parents. And Everything Is Love is everything to me. And like on Apple Music, when you fill out your artist profile, there's this question you can answer where you'll pick 3 albums and talk about why they're important to you. And this is one of them on my thing. If you go look on my Apple Music profile, if you have it, Everything Is Love. And I don't even, there's the 9 songs. I can literally go track by track. Everything is perfect to me. Summer is a song. Summer is the first track. It's a song that's on every playlist, every summer playlist that I've ever made. It's on every chill playlist I've ever made, every good vibes playlist I've ever made, every medium tempo feel good song, every playlist. This is probably the song I put on the most playlists ever. Summer is one of the best things that has ever touched my ears. And I feel like it's crazy underrated. It's not even the most popular song from this album. It is crazy good. It's kind of the best. And it's nuts that they start with that. It's number 1. Number 2 is Ape Shit, probably the most popular. It's a great song. It's a bop, a banger. Number 3 is Boss. I love Boss. I don't know what to say. Like, I love this album. Number 4 is Nice. Definitely one of my favorites. So Summer is like number 1. Or Summer is number 2, let's say. Nice is number 3. I love Nice. I know every word, bar for bar. Jay-Z and Beyonce's part. And Quavo at the end. Or whichever one of the Migos is there. 713, love that song. Friends, love this song. It's probably like number 4, maybe number 5. Like, love this song. Heard About Us, number 1. Number 1, love Heard About Us. So number 1 is Heard About Us. Number 2 is Summer. Number 3 is Nice. Number 4 is Friends. Number 8, that's my ranking. And then number 8 on the track list is Black Effect. Great song, love it. We good on any MLK Boulevard. We good. Love Happy is a great closer. I love the song. This album, it's 38 minutes, 9 tracks. I press play and I let it go. And I love it even more because I love it independently as much as I've just told you, but I love it even more because it's the closer of the Lemonade by Beyonce, 444 by Jay-Z, Everything Is Love by the Carters, the trilogy of this. He cheated on me, I cheated on her, we recovered. It really is everything to me. I love Jay-Z and I love Beyonce. Beyonce is my queen, but by proxy, I love Jay-Z because I've watched her movies and I've seen how much she loves him, and I understand her, I understand the way she feels about that man. And so I'm happy that they got it together. And I'm sure he would never do anything crazy on her again. He's in walking clubs now. Did you guys see that video? Jay-Z was in a walking club. He got caught. And I was like, what do you expect a 54-year-old father of 3 to be doing? What do you want the man to be doing? Because if he's out at so-and-so, y'all gonna take paparazzi pictures and try to pin something on him. He need to be in the damn walking club with an AirPod in, talking to his little friends. That's what he needs to do, okay? Like, really? Billionaires need to get out of shit. They need to stop doing shit. They need to stay out of shit. It's good for Jay-Z. I love Everything Is Love. Always have. From the day it came out. I remember when the day it came out, at first it was a Tidal exclusive. Bitch, I downloaded Tidal. I literally got a free trial of Tidal just to hear the album. With Lemonade, I just bought it on iTunes, I think. Because I don't think I got Tidal way back then. I was a Tidal exclusive at first, too. Strangely, Lemonade's not on this list. There is Beyonce albums on this list, and Lemonade is one of my favorites. It's on the honorable mention list, but it's like I couldn't even fit it in the ranking because Beyonce keeps outpacing herself. Like, if she hadn't made 2 remarkable albums since Lemonade, Lemonade be on the list. But it cannot even fit. That's why Everything Is Love is here, because 4 is 4, 4 is 4. 444 and Lemonade couldn't fit on this list, so Everything Is Love is here, to be clear. That was a bar. Number 3 on this album list is You've Got to Learn, Nina Simone. This is one of the other albums on my 3 albums that impacted you on Apple Music thing, along with Everything Is Love. It's You've Got to Learn and Dawn by Yeva. Actually, the top 3 on this list, I didn't even notice that at first. The top 3 on this list, I'm consistent. I love a consistent bitch. The top 3 on this list are the 3 albums that I've said most impacted me in my life on my Apple Music thing. You could check it right now. I love that, actually. I didn't even notice that Dawn was too. You've Got to Learn, Nina Simone. It's another one of those albums. It came out the year my mom was born. In 1965, I think, is when this album came out. At least that's when my mom was born. Yep. And it's another one. It's like track for track. It's perfect. I love music. When I say I love all music, I mean that. There is something of every genre I like, that I will listen to. And Nina Simone, whatever genre y'all want to try to put her in, whatever box, that box is for me. I am all in that box. That box is, I'm residing in it. Box for Kobe. I love this box. I Put a Spell on You is the first track. And Nina Simone's recording of that song is great. Annie Lennox for 50 Shades of Grey, that's a great recording too. Nina Simone's Classique Chic Slay. Art Pop, another album I couldn't fit on this list. Definitely an honorable mention though. Gaga is on here though, just not that one. I love Art Pop though. Track number 2 is Tomorrow Is My Turn. I like this one. That's a like. And track number 3 is No Me Quite Pa. No Me Quite Pa. I'm really bad with like pronunciation of anything or doing any accents or like saying anything that is not broken Southern English. No Me Quite Pa. Something of a speech impediment. It's beautiful. I just love that song. That's why I was saying that. And just quickly, the other songs I love: July Tree, Give Me Some, Feeling Good. Y'all know Feeling Good, Nina Simone. It comes from this album. One September Day, love it. Blues on Purpose, it's instrumental. It's a great instrumental track for like to put on like a homework playlist or something. If you just need something without words to do stuff, I have a playlist like that. Take Care of Business, the very, very final track, number 12, is awesome. But my favorite song on this entire record is You've Got to Learn. I am an evangelical supporter of You've Got to Learn by Nina Simone. Feeling Good's incredible. I Put a Spell on You is iconic. You've Got to Learn. I've probably talked about it on this podcast a bunch too. That song woke me up. I heard it for the very first time junior year. I listened to this album junior year of high school in 2018 and I was forever changed. If I hear music in the fall, it changes me. I don't know what it is about autumn. You've got to learn to show a happy face, although you're full of misery. You mustn't show a trace of sadness and never look for sympathy. I'm having deja vu. I probably definitely have told you guys about this before. You've got to learn, although it's very hard, the way of pocketing your pride. Sometimes face humiliation while you're burning up inside. Yeah, I mean, it just hurts. You got to learn to hide your sorrow and go on living as before. What good is thinking of tomorrow? Who knows what it may have in store? You've got to learn to be much stronger. At times your head must rule your heart. You've got to learn from hard experience and listen to advice, and sometimes pay the price and learn to live with a broken heart. Yeah, so, in the words of Yeba, that's that one. That's what she says at the end of the My Mind live performance. Well, actually, she only sang that song once. So, at the end of My Mind, the one time she sang it, that's what she says. So that's my top 3. Honestly, those 3 are kind of in order. Like, those are kind of so iconic to me, and it reigns true across platforms. But the rest of these are just kind of willy-nilly, I suppose. Number 4 is Toni Braxton by Toni Braxton. It's Toni Braxton's first album, obviously named after her. And I mean, really, just track for track, it's so good. Another sad love song, great. Breathe Again, my favorite. Well, no, my favorite for sure. 7 Whole Days, like number three. Love Affair, like number four. It's track number four and number four on my ranking. Love Should Have Brought You Home's number one for sure. You Mean the World to Me, I love that one. And the Breathe Again reprise is beautiful. I love Toni Braxton by Toni Braxton. All of her music's actually really, really good. Her newer, she's one of those R&B artists of another generation. She debuted early 90s, who was able to adapt every release that she's done in the 2010s and since, like, I think she put out her and Babyface put out Love, Marriage, Divorce in 2014. Then she put out an album in 2018, and then she put out another album in 2020. She adapt. That's all I was gonna say. Like, you could play her music on current R&B radio right now, as her new music and her old music. It all works. She's really good. Number 5 on this list is Born This Way by Lady Gaga. What's actually funny, Born This Way, the song, Toni Braxton's little sister Tamar sings background vocals on Born This Way, the song, because Tamar at the time was married to Vincent Herbert, who executive produced Born This Way by Lady Gaga and managed Toni Braxton at the same time. Isn't that cool? Anyway, so Tamar sang background vocals on Born This Way, the track. Born This Way, the album, is number 5 on this ranking. It is Lady Gaga's best work. I mean, to me, Lady Gaga's best work is Born This Way, the Fame, Art Pop, in such close proximity to each other, it doesn't even make sense. Her early pop records were unbeatable. Are unbeatable. Nobody's done anything like that to me. Nobody makes me feel the way Lady Gaga does. If I want to feel Gaga, I have to put on a Gaga video. If I want to feel the way Lady Gaga makes me feel, it has to be her. There's nobody else who even comes close to replicating the unique sense of cunt that Lady Gaga makes course through your veins. That is a bad bitch. Always has been, always will be. Born This Way. I guess I should pull it up, tell you my favorite songs. It's just so good. I will tell you, though, something that's so funny is, though, my very first version of Born This Way, back in 2011, when this album came out, I was still very much in the church, very much quote-unquote straight, very much trying to not be a little faggy gay boy, trying. And I was trying to resist the cunt. Like, I'd seen a couple of videos of Lady Gaga online, but I couldn't, like, fully jump into, like, being obsessed with her just yet. And then I was hanging out with my friend Tori, and at the time she lived across the street from my childhood house in Georgia. And in Georgia, like, I don't live in Georgia right now, in southern Georgia. And they loved Lady Gaga. They had the Born This Way CD, and her mom burned me a copy, like, ripped it onto the computer and burned me a spare, like, disc. You know what I'm talking about, if you know what CDs are. I don't know how young you people are. And she broke it in half and burned me a new one, because one of the songs was called Government Hooker, and she didn't want my mom to get mad, so she took that song off and then burned me a new one and then gave me that one. And I'll never forget that, because that was my introduction to Lady Gaga's, like, album, was a burned copy of Born This Way that was missing Government Hooker. So I'm gonna talk about my favorite Gaga Born This Way tracks right now. Marry the Night, fantastic song, fantastic video. Born This Way, iconic. Government Hooker, I now know is incredible. I didn't know back in the day. My favorite has always been Judas. My favorite song is Judas, or Americano, or You and I, or The Edge of Glory. Those have always been my favorites, like my tops. I love Hair. I love Shiza. I love Bloody Mary. I love Black Jesus, American Fashion. I love Bad Kids. I love Fashion of His Love. I love Highway Unicorn and Heavy Metal Lover and Electric Chapel. The Queen's okay. And then that's the end. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just perfect. Born This Way, top to bottom. Perfect. No pun intended. Tops and bottoms. Number 6 is Positions by Ariana Grande. This, to me, is Ariana Grande's best album to date. And I know none of her fans, none of her, like, stan online people, at least that I've seen, would agree with me. I think Thank You Next is, like, close to pop perfection. I think Thank You Next is close to pop perfection. I think Sweetener is perfectly experimental for her. I think her early music, her first 2 albums were chock full of hits. Dangerous Woman is such a nostalgic album for me. It's literally behind me. But Positions is perfect. Eternal Sunshine's great. But like for me, every song on Positions is like there. Like it's just in the vibes, that R&B Anna of it all. And I mean the fact that it was a pandemic, so like there was really not much to show for this era except for like a couple like online live performances. But this album, it really just stands alone for me. I think it's so great. The intro, Shut Up, is beautiful. 3435, I think, was such a fun song at the time, and still is, but it was really, really fun at the time. Motive by Ariana Grande and Doja Cat stands the test of time. I still love that song. Just Like Magic was one of my favorites back then and now. Still love that. Off the Table, I did not love back then, but then I realized it was because of the situation. I like it now. 6:30 is one of my favorites. I just love the analogy of being down like 6:30 on the clock, on an analog clock. 6:30 down, down. Love it. Um, Safety Net with Ty Dolla Sign. That's one of my favorites. Top three. My Hair, Nasty, West Side. All of those are some of my favorite tracks on the whole album. You know, so I'm saying everyone's my favorite. Love Language. I always think of Zaria when I play that song. She loves it. Positions, the single. I really like this song. Literally not by any means the best song on the album, but I just remember when it came out and the video and the single came out, like I would bought it for 69 cents on iTunes and like danced around the kitchen and learned all the words. So I know that song because it was first. Obvious, I love it. Point of View, love it. And then on the deluxe, some of the extra tracks. Someone Like You, Test Drive, Worst Behavior, Main Thing. I love them. I gotta be honest, the only thing I'm not obsessed with was the 3435 remix, because I thought the two women features were gonna be Chloe and Halle. And then it was Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion, two artists whom I love, but I really thought it was gonna be Chloe and Halle, so I was upset. But I love Positions. It's incredible. It really is. Number 7 is one of the newer albums on this list. It's not the newest, one of the newer, though. There's one more album that's a little newer. It's Something to Give Each Other, Troye Sivan. That's another artist whom I love all his albums. His first EP, his first album, his second album, and this one. I love them all. But this is his best to me. Like, Bloom is pop perfection. Very, very close. Something to Give Each Other, though, is like damn fucking fire. Like, it's damn good. I don't love a short album, but I love a short album when every song is great. Because then I'm like, what's there to bitch about? They leave you wanting more, and that's what they should do. Track number 1, Rush, obviously a hit. Track number 2, What's the Time Where You Are, underrated to me. It's a hit. Track number 3, One of Your Girls. Do I even need to get into it? Do I even need to elaborate? Do I even need to articulate how that song makes me feel? Makes me want to croak. Number 4, In My Room, Spanglish, love it. Number 5, Still Got It, is real. I still got it. Number 6 is Can't Go Back, Baby. Really one of my favorites, honestly. The sample's cool. Number 7, Got Me Started. Literally such a good video. The best video from the album to me, and such a vibe. Actually, the best video is One of Your Girls. Got Me Started is number 2. Silly, fire. Track number 8, Silly, fire. Track number 9, Honey, fire. Track number 10, How to Stay With You. Then the album's over. Every song's good. That's one of those albums. It really is. Every single song is good. Every single solitary track. Like, everyone is favorited for me. That's a very rare thing. Especially because people do like interludes and stuff. You don't favorite all that shit. But I'm like, when you have a track full, an album full of full tracks, bitch, and everyone's good, you go ahead and here's your Grammy. Didn't he win a Grammy? He won 2, right? He was nominated. Did he win something? I'm gonna have to look that up. Actually, I guess I can just do it now. I know he was nominated. I'm like, did he win? Maybe not, but I wish he would. He should have. This album was fucking good. I think he lost something to Kylie Minogue, which, you know, makes sense. He was nominated. He was nominated. And that's incredible. I cannot believe he's 29, though. His birthday's June 5th. That's a week before mine. Exactly. 29 doesn't sound right on a twink like that. That fucking coffee's bomb, man. Okay. Next on the list. This is also kind of new. Still not the newest album, though. Snow Angel. Renee Rapp. Honestly, anything Renee Rapp's voice is on, if Renee Rapp didn't have an original album out, I would say Mean Girls was my favorite fucking album. Renee Rapp, well, actually, she wasn't even on that cast recording. Taylor Louderman was. But my point is Renee Rapp is the shit. I've been obsessed with this lady ever since I saw her on that fucking Jimmy Awards. Ever since I saw her on the fucking Bloomies. And it's never stopped. She is so fucking good, man. And her transition to pop music was seamless and really just, she ate it. She ate that. She fucking ate that. So, Snow Angel, man. It's another one. Every song is favorited. That is so rare. Every song is favorited. She did her big one on this album. And seeing her live with Lindsay in October, her and Alexander 23, they were great. They really were great. Toa Bird, who's hot. They were really good. My favorite tracks on Snow Angel, just in no particular order, but my favorites are I Hate Boston, Poison Poison, Gemini Moon, Snow Angel, The Wedding Song, Pretty Girls, Tummy Hurts, I Wish, Willow, Messy, I Do, Swim, and Tummy Hurts of Coco Jones. Tummy Hurts of Coco Jones. The whole album, basically. That was literally like every song, except for like one. Like, that's it. I love that fucking album, man. Love it. Loves it. Loves it. So this next album, number 9, is actually one of the older albums on this. It's the oldest so far. Oh, actually, it might be the oldest album on here. Tony Braxton came out in like 92 or 3, but Thriller came out in the 80s, Bookie. And Thriller came out 82. Thriller, it's only 9 songs. I'm telling you, back in the day, short albums when you couldn't cuss, like they would just had to be fucking good because they wanted to play every song on the radio. And Thriller is really nuts. Track number 1 is Wanna Be Starting Something. Like, personally for me as a kid, like on the Wii, like people would play like Xbox and whatever the fuck. I didn't have any video game consoles except for a Wii. And the only games that I had, well, maybe I had more, but the only games that I played on the Wii was Super Mario Brothers, not Mario Kart. Don't hand me Mario Kart. I still don't know how to play that shit. Which everybody's, I just heard the gasp. The gasp heard round the gay universe. I just don't know how to play Mario Kart. I had a stroke. Sorry. I only know how to play Super Mario Brothers, and then like we'd play the Wii Sports or whatever, and then I do Just Dance, specifically the Michael Jackson dance experience. That caveat was getting me here. Wanna Be Starting Something, bitch, is track number 1. Track number 2, Baby Be Mine. Okay, let's vibe for a second, but then we're getting Paul McCartney on the track, bitch. Number 3, The Girl Is Mine, is my favorite song. It is so good. And at the end when Paul McCartney goes, she's mine, like whatever fucking low ass note he hits, she's mine, ate that. Yeah, she's mine. Track number 4 is Thriller, obviously a classic. This is the best selling album of all time, by the way. Like, put some respect on MJ. Best selling album of all time to date. Thriller, physical copies, bitch, and not with 27 versions. You know who I'm talking about. No shade, like Billie Eilish says, everybody does it. Me too. Number 5 is Beat It. Beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Number 6 is Billie Jean. Like, do you hear what I'm saying to you? Wanna Be Starting Something, Baby Be Mine, The Girl Is Mine, Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean. In a row. Human Nature, number 7, one of Michael Jackson's best songs. Pretty Young Thing, like PYT Tori Kelly. Pretty Young Thing is number 8. Number 9, The Lady in My Life. Literally every single one of those songs, but except for 2 of them, were radio hits. Can you make that make sense? When 7/9 of your albums is on the radio, 7/9. That is stupid. That is so stupid. Like, in the best way. That's crazy as hell. That is fucking nuts. So Thriller is number 9. Number 10, because Beyonce obviously has not had a nod yet, you're starting to feel like this is the Grammys. And I understand what you're saying. Remember, this ranking was in no particular order. The end is very Beyonce heavy. And because I got number 10 and I only had 10, 11, 12 left, and I had a couple albums I wanted to say before I got to the honorable mentions, I had to be decisive. How will I say B-Day and 4? How will I also say Renaissance and Cowboy Carter? And if I only have 3 spots left, I have to say Homecoming. So I said Homecoming to make up for the absence of Beyonce's earlier albums because this to me, I mean, there's the I Am World Tour live album, which is impeccable. And then of course there's tour movies like Live at Roseland and the Beyonce Experience from way early on, and of course the I Am World Tour movie, the Renaissance World Tour movie that we can't see unless you saw it at the theater. There's no Formation movie. There's no On the Run movie. Um, on the Run 2, there's no movie. On the Run, there is a movie. I watched that one last year. And so my point is, you can watch all this stuff. To me, Homecoming is the best live arrangement. And that movie's iconic on Netflix. And so Homecoming was my choice because there's like 40 songs included in this arrangement. This 2-hour Beachella set that she did really was just stupid and game changing, and nobody will ever replicate it. This is a 40 track album. And 39 tracks without the welcome, bitch. And it just doesn't make any sense. My favorite tracks on this Homecoming Live are the arrangement of Sorry, of Bow Down, I've Been On, of Diva, of Flawless and Feeling Myself, of I Care, of, excuse me, of You Don't Love Me, No, 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 of Deja Vu, of Lose My Breath and Say My Name in Soldier when Destiny's Child came out. Get Me Body when Solange came out to dance. Love on Top, I like how they rearranged it, made it slow, and Before I Let Go, and then like I've Been On, the bonus track version. That album's just bomb. Like, it really is just really that good. Like, Homecoming is crazy, and there's a movie to go with it. There you go. So then for a number 11, I'm like, okay, bitch, you only have 2 spots left. Are you gonna pick Renaissance? Or are you gonna pick Cowboy Carter? Because you gotta put another album in here too. I picked Cowboy Carter. Renaissance is an honorable mention, as well as B-Day, as well as Four, as well as Beyonce, the self-titled album. All honorable mentions. But I had to pick Cowboy Carter because she fucking did her big one on that. And I know she's not promoting it like some people would like, but Beyonce doesn't do that anymore. And it doesn't change the fact that that music is remarkable. It doesn't change the fact that that album came out on March 29th. About 2.5 or so weeks later, Muggsy passed away. And it was still very fresh, that album was, as well as Muggsy's passing, was very fresh on my spirit. And I put the Beyonce Act 2 CD, which was absent of, it was missing Yaya and Spaghetti and the Linda Martell interludes and stuff. I listened to the Beyonce Act 2 version of the CD that was available. Now the standard edition's available for purchase. Back then it wasn't. I listened to the Beyonce version, and I sat in this floor, and I just cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And music, not all music can do that. And not that it was the music, but it was, and I wasn't crying. I was just saying I was just feeling sad. I was feeling down, but it was kind of in a numb way where I didn't really I wasn't letting it out. And Beyonce, I did Blackbird came on, and it just, or really it was American Requiem, like the ends, but then Blackbird came on, and Protector, and it just, Cowboy Carter is really incredible. And if you don't like country music, get over it. It's really not even that country. I'm like, country music isn't just yeehaw and let's drink beer. Like, Beyonce made it real. You know what I mean? Like, it's country because she's country. It's country because she's Texas. You know what I mean? Like my music's country because I'm country, but it's rap music, it's pop music. You know what I mean? But I'm country. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like she is country. You can't take away somebody's culture and then say, oh, you don't. But also for people who don't like country music, it really doesn't sound the way you think it sounds. So give it a shot. That's all I'm saying. Number 11 is Cowboy Carter. Those are my 2 Beyonce nods in the ranking. Homecoming, Cowboy Carter. Number 12, the last album on this ranking, is going to Taylor Swift. Not her self-titled album, but my favorite Taylor Swift album. This is an album that no matter when I turn it on, from top to bottom, beginning to end, it will always make me feel like a little kid. Every single time I play Fearless. Fearless is... Fearless is so damn good. And there are certain music moments that you live through, like Beyonce, like watching Victoria Monet rise, or being around when Lady Gaga was, emerging as a star. when you live through stuff like that, you feel grateful to witness. You feel grateful to bear witness to these moments. And Fearless was one of those things. I feel grateful to have grown up on Fearless and on Born This Way. Born This Way is over there on the wall. You can't see that one. And on Dangerous Woman a couple of years later. It was very early high school, but I'm like, when I was a kid, I was listening to Fearless. And I love that album. So just very quickly, I'm going to say my favorite tracks from Fearless. And then I'm going to run through my honorable mentions real fast. And then we're going to say goodbye. And this was really fun. Honestly, I should do more episodes of stuff like this where I get to talk about things that I love just in depth. Because I love this. I love music, but I love this. Feels fun. Feels good. Fearless. I love it. Love Story is a wonderful 15. Honestly, it doesn't hit so much anymore, but baby, like in high school listening to 15, being like a couple of years after 15 will probably hit for me in like 5 years. Like 22, I'm like, okay, 15, I don't want to be 15, and I don't want to be 22 either, really, you know what I mean? But maybe when I'm like 25, 26, 27, 15 will mean a lot. But Love Story, I love it. Hey Stephen was one of my favorites when I can't speak. Hey Stephen was one of my favorites when I was a kid. I love White Horse, I Love You Belong With Me, and Breathe, and Tell Me Why, and The Way I Loved You, and Forever and Always. The Best Day makes me cry. You're Not Sorry, I skipped that one. I like that one too. Change, I love. And then my other favorites near the end of the album, Come In With the Rain, The Other Side of the Door is my favorite, and that was one of the surprise songs at the show that I saw in Atlanta. The Other Side of the Door, and that's one of my favorites. And then I like Mr. Perfectly Fine and Don't You of the vault tracks on the Taylor's version. So yeah, I love Fearless. I love the original version, and I don't listen to that one anymore. I do have a physical copy of the old Fearless that I could pop in, because Scooter won't make any money off of that. But yeah, the Taylor's version's great too. I love Fearless. So the honorable mentions, let's get into it. Let me run through this. They are as follows. Walk Through Fire by Yola. This is an album by she calls herself like a genre fluid artist, like country soul rock. She's from the UK. It's a black woman. She's really cool. And I saw her the very first time, very briefly, in passing, going to see somebody else, or like waiting to see somebody else maybe, at 2019 Music Midtown. Yola. She's awesome. And her first album was Walk Through Fire. It's really good. Her second one is called Diamond Studded Shoes, I think, or her second album's good too. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Walk Through Fire, I love. The second album on here, actually, I saw a performance at the same Music Midtown in 2019. When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? I think that's Billie Eilish's best work so far, honestly. It makes the most sense to me. At least it's my favorite of her albums thus far. And I think that it was really cool to see live before she was like super, super huge. Now she's gigantic. Back then she was like medium sized. So When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? It was cool to see live at that same Music Midtown that I saw Yola. The next album on the list is Renaissance. Obviously obsessed with Renaissance. And the only reason Cowboy Carter beat it out is because it came out. Like, if Cowboy Carter hadn't come out, Renaissance would have been on the list. Next is Beyonce's self-titled album, Beyonce. That was the very first Beyonce release that I remember living through. I was literally like 11, and it was crazy. It was so cool to be there and buy it on iTunes in real time and like live it. It was cool. Ungodly Hour, Chloe and Halle, came out on my 18th birthday in 2020, and I love that album, so I had to put it on the honorable mentions list just to give them a shout. I love Chloe and Halle, Atlanta sisters, but I just didn't have room on my list. It was full. Golden Hour, another Hour album. This one's by Casey Musgraves. Golden Hour is awesome. She won Album of the Year for that album. All her music is good. The next album on this list is the honorable mention list is Love Deluxe. Love Deluxe. I don't know why I'm talking weird now. I think I'm getting tired. Love Deluxe by Sade is really good. And it's like, I don't know, that's vibe music. Like, you put it on and you ascend. Loving Love Deluxe. Emotions by Mariah Carey is the next honorable mention. That might be my favorite Mariah Carey album. If not, Mariah Carey, the self-titled album, or like maybe Music Box or something. I love Mariah Carey, but Emotions, it's just kind of like, and you don't remember not just the song Emotions, And You Don't Remember, Can't Let Go, So Cold. That album is really good. You're so cold. How can you be? The third to last album on this honorable mention list is Bloom, Troye Sivan. I mentioned earlier how much I love it, and I do. The next album is B-Day by Beyonce. That's second to last. I love B-Day. And there was no room where I would have put it there. And the last album is for Beyonce. Beyonce. I love me some Beyonce. And I love talking about music. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Sorry, I was getting a little stretch in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I hope you'll give any one of these albums a listen. I'd be happy to hear that you tried anything out. I would be happy to know that you listened to any of the music. It's all great. And I would love for you to let me know what you think about the pod. Let me know. Comment on YouTube or leave a rating or send me an email at biz@koblizzy.com. Go to my website, koblizzy.com. Send me a DM on Instagram at koblizzy. Follow me on TikTok at koblizzy. I love you. I'm so happy that I decided to pre-tape an episode so I could be like a real podcaster, like a professional. And I wouldn't have to like post an Instagram story saying, sorry guys. Actually, don't even do that. I'm acting like I get on the story to say I'm not posting. You guys we see each other. It's like telepathy. But the sponsors don't see each other. They don't see me at least. So I got to post consistently. But anyway, I love you. Thank you for listening or watching. As always, I'm happy that you're here. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. And I love you. I really do mean that. We all need a little love. Especially me. Could use a little more love. Bye, you guys. I wish I could do like the camera cover thing, but that is so millennial. Baby, that is so 10 years ago. That is so out.